Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Ash here. I'm going to quickly just make a post-match review. Obviously, I had it a bit on the Football Terrace, as a lot of Arsenal fans enjoyed sticking it to me, as I predicted, obviously, a 3-1 win. Arsenal was, first of all, I'll say this, Arsenal was a better team tonight. I'm very pissed off, though, because the goal scorer, Gabriel, shouldn't have been on the pitch. Look, there's discussions about this game. There's different standing points. I'm gonna put my thoughts out there on what I thought about some things. Let me see if I can open this. Can I open this somewhere? Oh, here we go. We'll open it like this. This, first of all, people talking about this being a penalty. No, not at all. So, 2 seconds before this, ball's coming down here. Yoko is trying to knock it here. Nick Pope gets a touch to bring it around here. If Nick Pope doesn't get the touch, yes, it's a penalty, stonewall penalty, because he would have just went past and knocked it in. However, Nick Pope's touch brings it this way, changes the trajectory and the pace of the ball. The ball's going p-rolling towards the corner flap, so it's going really slow. So basically, Gyökeres does not have a goal-scoring opportunity here because he would have to literally just get up and run this way to get the ball back in. And by this point, Saka gets here, and Sandro Tonali's in the goal. So, first of all, let's talk about that. That's no, don't agree with that. That is not a penalty. That's different to the Sanchez situation. The Sanchez came out of the box. He was fully took Mbeumo out, which I think was very different to that. And yeah, I think that was different because if Mbeumo didn't get fully taken clean out, he could have scored. I think Gyökeres, like I said, because the way the ball's going, it's going away from the goal. I think that's different to the Mbeumo thing because Mbeumo's kind of going towards the goal. Either way, consistency always over the place. We'll go obviously through some of the things that I posted about. First of all, this is a stonewall penalty in my opinion. They said that it came off Gabriel's shin. I have not seen an angle of where it comes off his shin. Regardless, if it does take a minimal deflection off his shin, I still think this is a penalty in my opinion. Because his arm, I am sorry, but his arm is completely out. Like, I don't think that's a natural position. I don't really see players go down like this, like going in for tackles and stuff. And when they do, they get pens for this. So this, in my opinion, I think this is a penalty. I'm trying not to be biased, although because I'm a Newcastle fan, of course it will come across that way. This was absolutely disgusting. So Voltemade had just scored. The ball comes down. So right now you can see David Raya just out the corner. Raya has the ball. Out a moment of madness, when Nick Voltemade gets near Gabriel, he just straight forearms him in the face. Look, I'm not going to be like... I will also say, if there's any other challenges like this, like the Lascelles Gyökeres one, Lascelles grabs Gyökeres' face. That was also a bit weird. I think that's a foul. I think there's a very big distinction though between that being a foul and this being a red card. I think there's a violent conduct, which is this is a forearm being a violent conduct because that could like break his jaw, whereas a hand being like this and pulling away, that's slightly different. I think they're both fouls, but I think they're both different level of fouls. That's where I sit with that. Either way, Arsenal was the better team of the night. We'll get through some of the stuff, as you can see by some of the stats and stuff. We'll have a look at the lineup. Lineup was a bit strange for me. Not how I thought it was going to go. I didn't think it was too bad. Me and Ken had a bit of a talk about this. That about like a 3 in the back we kind of ended up going to. Gave Tino a bit of freedom, which let's just say that was what the other picture was. Saliba, Tino went up for the head of the ball. Saliba just completely went into the back of him because Saliba didn't even make an attempt to go for the ball. He didn't get a yellow card for that. And Tino basically landed funny and has been stretchered off with what looks to be a serious injury on his knee, which I'm not happy with. Look, it's not a red card, but I think it's a yellow because he didn't even make a play for the ball and he's gone for it. He's just gone to injure him. Like, stuff like that, in my opinion, needs to be cracked down a little bit. Yellow. Nick Pope had a very good game, apart from he kind of switched off at the end with like the last goal from Gabriel. I think he came out to do a weird punch. I'm not going to be too mad because Nick Pope had a very good game. I think Malik Chow had an incredible game as well, and so did Tino. Tino and Malik Chow, these both had very good games. And Tonali was amazing. He was just pinging balls all over the place. Don't think Joey had an amazing game. I think he was okay. Got a bit stuck in. Gordon looked okay. Still not back to how he was. I thought this would be Alanga starting instead of Murphy because of Calafiori, like I said, doing the same thing that I said, jumping into midfield. Would have left space for Alanga to run in. Obviously, doesn't mean Murphy doesn't have pace, but he's a slightly different player in how he plays because Murphy runs down the wing and then looks to cross it in or to get a shot from around here on the edge of the box. Whereas what Alanga likes to do, he'll run down here, take on a person, come to sort of the byline, sort of like Noni Madueke did, and then cross it across. Slightly different players, but it is what it is. I think we didn't play amazing this game, but we also didn't play terrible. I think Arsenal's just a better team than us at the moment, so credit to them. Jamal Lascelles came on. So basically, this was like the late subs. They did a Kieran Trippier, Anthony Alanga, Will Asula. Those were the 3 subs. Didn't really. It was basically it was for Gordon. It was for the full front line. Didn't make a massive difference. It kind of made us go back to it made us go to a 3-5-2 kind of way. So we had Tino. Tino moved to. Actually, I think Tino stayed on this side. Actually, did he? Yeah, I think Tino stayed on this side. And Trips, but they kept on like swapping over. They always do the inverted thing where they swap wings. So we had that, and then we had up front we had Asula and Alanga. It was a bit of a. They didn't do that much, to be fair, either of them. I was kind of hoping Will Asula might have kicked on a bit from how he was if he's got confidence. Obviously, Jamal Lascelles got brought on for the Tino Livramento coming off with his injury. Like I said, I hope that's okay. I hope it's not long term because it didn't look good. He didn't look happy with it at all. He had to get stretchered off, which is never a good sign. Harvey Barnes came on. I don't remember Harvey Barnes doing anything. Apparently, he touched the ball once. Literally don't remember that at all. That right at the end of the game. It's just annoyed me anyway because of how it ended up finishing. But yeah, we seem to have switched off a bit. Of course, flipping Mikel Moreno comes on and he scores against us. Typical. Obviously, he used to play for us back in 2017, I think it was. God. Mike Ashley era that. Yeah, quite annoying. And then obviously, like I said, Gabriel scored a goal. When should it be on the pitch? I don't think so. I don't think he should have been on the pitch at all. I think he definitely should have got sent off after the forearm. Look, I'm not going to try and be biased. Be like, look, Bruno should have got sent off when he did the elbow to Jorginho back in the day. These things happen, and I'm going to call them out as they are, whether it's for my team or against my team. But I will wholeheartedly say that I did not think that this is a penalty. I think the ref got this one right. I think the handball for Gabriel, I'm surprised that wasn't given, to be honest. I mean, I feel like I think the only way they didn't give it was because apparently it came off his shin. I would love to see an angle of this, but either way, guys, let me know what your thoughts. I hope we do better against Union. Let's see if we can kick on off the rest of before the international break. So hopefully we can beat Union away and then beat Forest. We'll see how it goes. If that does happen, we'll have a good end to the mid-quarter season before we have the international break for 2 weeks, and then back to Brighton, where hopefully Wissa, Jacob Ramsey, all these players are going to be back. Who else? Obviously, Fabian Schär's going to be back probably before then. He might be back for the Union game or the Forest game, one or two. But yeah, guys, let me know what you thought about the game. I thought we played okay, but I think Arsenal did just play better. I think we were a bit unlucky, but at the same time, as Arsenal easily could have scored more goals, but Nick Pope had a worldy game. Either way, guys, I'm not going to complain too much. I think we could have done better. Either way, guys, much love and peace.